Bitcoin is still above $30,000, and I believe Bitcoin can still go a little bit higher, just a notch, and altcoins will start pumping more and more, as we saw already yesterday and also today. Multiple altcoins pumping over 30% on a single day, and I believe I have found the next altcoins that are going to pump. And if you want to know which altcoins that are and that I am buying and longing really soon, then you should stay here until the end and make sure that you are also subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will be always notified when we will make here generational money together. And now let's start here really quick with Bitcoin before I move into the altcoins. So I believe there is potentially still a little bit more juice for Bitcoin to continue to go here to the upside, but I think that if we are not breaking this high here, that we are going to see here a rounding top. And even if we would go higher and touch here this resistance at $32,000, I still believe that we're going to see here a rounding top for the imminent short term over the next couple of days. So don't forget we are here on the daily chart, because the price has to come back to the EMA ribbon to touch it, which will be, in my opinion, around $28,000, $29,000. And from there we're going to see a bounce back above 30K, and then we will not look back for a long time to get below $30,000. So here I still believe we could see continuation a little bit to the upside, but up sideways more or less to create this rounding top, and then we see a correction to the EMA ribbon at that moment in time, with a bounce from there back to the upside from $28,000, $29,000. Here on the 30 minutes you can also clearly see that Bitcoin is running into that resistance here at $31,000. So we broke it here 2 days ago, broke into that, but were rejected quite quickly, and here direct rejection. So that just shows you how strong that resistance is in that area. And now we're about also to lose the EMA ribbon on the 30 minutes if we continue to trend like that. And yeah, that will put further selling pressure on Bitcoin, but that does not mean that altcoins cannot pump. Don't forget, when we're looking here also on that 1 hour chart, we can clearly see that Bitcoin can either say Bitcoin is ranging. Yeah, here, that is kind of the range that Bitcoin is trading in right now. Just let me adjust that a little bit more. We have here well-defined support and well-defined resistance. The resistance is sitting here at $31,000-ish, and the support at $30,500, $450-ish. And now the $1 million question is, which level will give in first? Either the one to the upside or to the downside. But right now it looks like that to the downside, that is the level that we have to be watching right now, and not the one to the upside, because there's so much resistance above us, which makes it really hard to go here higher, especially also with the higher time frames being overextended. When we're going then to the Bitcoin dominance, here we finally see a drop and a potential top out for it at around 51.86%. So we got really close to the 52% level. If we are topping out here, that's absolutely fine. And I hope that we see tomorrow continuation to the downside, which will lead to a further run in the altcoins. And that's why I had to put out this really important video, that you have still time to position yourself for this potential run that could start by tomorrow. But in the worst case, definitely next week, in my opinion. We should also not forget there is a potential CME gap coming up at $31,200, and that's another reason why I believe Bitcoin could see a final push. Just before I go into the altcoins, I just wanted to mention that if Bitcoin goes not by tonight up when the CME market opens to 31,200, that there's a CME gap, a small one, buffers of $500-600. And guys, before I go now into altcoins, don't forget, if you want to trade altcoins with me together, especially the ones that I'm going to show you, then definitely sign up on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 if you use my link. It's a win-win for both sides, but only with my specific link here. And also on ASCENDEX, you still get $2,000 on if you sign up there, and you earn while you are trading Bitcoin off the fees of your trade. So also only with that specific link you will be able to do that. So combined, it's $32,000 up for grabs here, absolutely for free. Especially in a market like that, I would take advantage of that. And on BYBIT, you can also claim a $1,000 free long position if you deposit at least $100, also only with my link here. And of course, if you want to learn how to trade and how I am analyzing the markets and how I am making money with my strategies and with my systems, then definitely still pre-register here on that link for my next course and mentorship program, which will be up early next week, guys. There are still a little tweaks here and there for the website, but it will be up in the next 72 hours. And of course, it comes at a cost. It will be not for free, but you can still pre-register and you will be the first one to get to know about it. And you will be offered a special deal that I will do only once, but only if you sign up. So definitely make sure that you are signing up. Now let's start to talk about altcoins. Here you can see our link trade. Our link trade is really well going here. We took initial profits here on the 8%. Now we are getting closer to the 20%. I have moved my stop loss already to the first take profit point here. So the trade is absolutely risk-free for me right now. I believe that we have to come a little bit lower again, because look at this, how this is going up here, parabolic almost. So that has to definitely come down a little bit. When I look at this, here, look at this. Once we lose that trend line, you could technically scalp a short here if you wanted to. And the level that I would be looking at would be $6.02. So that would be a 20%, a 22 cent move to the downside, roughly 3.5%. So if you do this with 20x leverage, you make 70% on the way down. So that would be my first initial target if you want to scalp short that. Otherwise, and we will definitely still have the other targets as long as the Bitcoin dominance is going down over the next coming days. Also here, that target of 42% more or less will be hit in really soon. And there's also a potential that we actually go all the way up to $10 for Link. Link was already prior there, but did not revisit that level for a long time. We have to break first here the $7.71 level. And from there, if we manage to establish support there, then we can see a further move to the upside. And I want to show you again why most of these altcoins are moving now. Because the stochastic RSI just gave a buy signal, and that will lead to a couple of weeks of upwards movement in most of the altcoins. And as you can see here, the high target is $10.61. That is definitely in reach right now with what I'm seeing in the market, also with all the institutions coming in for Bitcoin, BlackRock, Valkyrie, and whatnot. They are all coming in right now for a Bitcoin ETF that is fuel also for altcoins to go here higher. Then when we are looking on on INJ, injection protocol, here we could see a correction in the short term, potentially back into that support box here. That is your buy zone, guys. If you are not in a trade right now, then this becomes your buy zone. So here, that is your buy zone. That's where you want to buy from $6.30 all the way up to $6.64-ish. And then you're waiting for a break. Otherwise, of this downward sloping resistance line. So we got now multiple times rejected here. We got here like 8 times rejected, always with a double candle. And we will only see a break above that if the price can manage to stay above $7.09. So if the price would come back above $7.09, then automatically we will cross that downward sloping trend line at some point. But if not, then we most likely come back down into that buy zone, which will give you an opportunity to get into this trade if you're not in it yet. And then you can trade this with us together to the Fibonacci extension levels, to potentially all the way up to $14.62, $14.86. That is the target to the upside once we are breaking here this downward sloping resistance line. And here on the daily chart, you can clearly see why that is such a tough resistance to break here. Also on the weekly chart, if I go here again, we're about to getting a buy signal by today's candle close, which will definitely pump this coin into oblivion, in my opinion. That will go really, really quick to $10 in the next coming days, or potentially, let's say the next 10 days. I believe this can go the next 10 days to $10, which would be almost a 50% move for injective protocol. So definitely have that also on your watch list. Then here, AAVE. For AAVE, AAVE is one of the coins that was pumping today insanely high, 30%, but we see here signs right now that we are potentially topping out. So that would be an amazing opportunity to short this back to the downside, for example, here to that kind of range. So, and that is almost a 10% move to the downside. If you only trade this with 10x, that is 100% profit, really, really easy to get here. That will only change if we break $76. If we manage to close a 30-minute and an hourly candle above that level, that would be my stop loss. That's where I would get out. But otherwise, this looks like that this is already topping out and will turn around. But also here on the higher time frames, there is still a lot more room to go to the upside. So there's only that downwards trend line holding it down right now, but you're seeing we are testing it. So, and that is exactly where the price was at $76.31. So if it breaks above that, then this will go to over $100 really quick. Yeah, even $200 would be in the cards for AAVE. So also here, 150% move over the next coming weeks. So if this goes to $200, 164% in the next coming weeks, in my opinion, definitely in the cards for AAVE. So you see here's a lot of altcoins that we can trade right now. Just wait for a break above that line if you want to trade it on spot or get into a long position. Wait for, let's say, 77, maybe even a little, $77 would be the level that I would be watching to get into a position here. That's also my trigger moment where I will get in, because then both lines are broken. The downward sloping resistance line and the horizontal line will be broken at that point, and that's where I'm gonna get into that trade too. Let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum also 3 times now rejected at $1,930. If Ethereum manages to break above that level, that will be insanely bullish, and then is $2,150 in my opinion in the cards, and potentially even higher to $2,331. This looks for me quite bullish right now, because that looks more like a flag formation that we are forming here than a potential topping point, even though the stochastic RSI says otherwise. But on the normal RSI, there's still room to go to the upside. We are not overbought yet on the normal RSI. So, and then here, there you go. See, so this is $2,100 if that flag breaks it to the upside. So, and also here, if the price action can maintain that level where it is right now, then we broke the downward sloping resistance line. We are above the golden ratio at 1,850, 1,875. That is extremely bullish for Ethereum, and I also believe that we see continuation and here to the upside. On the weekly chart, also here about to get a buy signal, also way more fuel to the upside, potentially to $2,600 over the next coming weeks, in my opinion. So if you're not in a trade yet, wait again for this daily candle to close. Once it closes that above $1,930, that will be your signal to get into that trade, but only if we get a close above $1,930. As you can see, there is strong resistance right now. We got the last 4 days 3 times rejected from there. Then RUNE could be also one of the coins that might be ready to move here to the upside based on the daily chart. So we have here a downwards broadening falling wedge here. They always tend to break to the upside. The initial technical target is the top of the falling broadening wedge, which is at $1.50. That alone is almost a 50% move to the upside. We are here down here in our buy zone. We only have one major resistance level above us, and that is at $1.20 all the way up to $1.29. So that is already almost a 30% move from where we are right now if you buy it right now. The stop loss is slightly under here. I will set my stop loss at like 94 cents. Don't over leverage yourself on that. Maximum 5x in my opinion, that you are not getting liquidated here, but better trade is on spot because there's so much money to be made already on spot. Why would you leverage that and risk your capital to do that? You know, so here 28% almost, and then here 68%. There's no leverage needed if you don't want to. Of course, higher gains with leverage, you know, but also more risk. So manage your risk, guys. Yeah, so that is definitely a buy zone for me where it is right now. I actually longed this with a little bit of leverage, but like I said, manage your risk, guys. Then also JASMY. JASMY is here in a rising wedge. So here I would be quite careful unless we are staying above that downward sloping resistance line that we have broken. I would be careful with it because that can still turn around one more time before it goes then finally to the upside. You see the targets here, half of a cent 62, then 6161, 83.18 to the upside. So if you measure that from where we are right now, so that is almost 15%, that is almost 40%, and then here 88.5% more or less from where we are at right now. And your entry zone, I will give you 2 entry zones. The first one is if we come back down, then we'll be down here from 463 to 4169, and then the other one is if we break here higher. That is the other one that I want to see. So here above 4620, that is the other zone, all the way down to 4514 in that range. If we break higher, that's where you buy and trade this then to the upside. If we fall out of the rising wedge, then here underneath, that will become your buy zone. Then really quick, GMT. GMT, downward sloping resistance line about to break, and once it breaks, that will become then our entry. And let me mark out here also a buy zone. Kind of like here. So you see we are slightly under that. I would wait for a break above 25 cents. Once you're breaking above that, then you can get into that trade that's also above the downward sloping resistance line. Wait here for a daily, at least for an hourly or a 4-hourly close above that level before you get into that trade. And here, if you would get into that at that point, also here still 60% to the upside on the higher end, and on the lower end it's also still 11% that we can bank here in profits. Also here really quick on a stochastic RSI, you see we're getting here a morning star pattern, a reversal pattern to the upside once we are closing this daily candle as it is, and then we only need to break above the downward sloping resistance line to confirm, and we are continuing here to the upside because stochastic RSI also today will extend and give us more bullish feel to the upside, coinciding with the Bitcoin dominance dropping for us. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which coins you are watching. I know there's a lot to watch right now. And if you take also these trades, definitely make sure that you sign up on BYBIT to take these trades if you haven't yet. And don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.